Okay, Grandad Brian, if you would be so kind as to show us how to cut a banana. Grandad Brian, that's not a banana. That's a pear.
No, that's a pear. That's one on its own, and that's a pear.
Right. Yeah.
So make up one.
But
Do you
not,
want? Oh, don't
we want a banana.
No.
Yes. Yes. So
It's got its tail down.
that's it. So how would you start the process, Grandad?
First of all, you've got to just take the banana off the to do it, and then you've got to decapacitate it, like cut its head off. If you cut his head, leave his neck down now, grab his neck and just, that's
it. That's
now you cut his head off.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all for that. And now you've got to do slices. It won't keep still, so when they just keep those still.
Hopefully there's no children watching this. Please don't try
1, 2,
to...
3, 4, 5, 6.
That's very chef-like. Yes.
And now that banana is absolutely buggered.
Right. Okay. So, Granny Brown, whilst you're continuing to prepare a fruit salad, could you tell us a little bit about the days when you were working in the racing industry, when you were doing tic-tacking, which for those that haven't seen such a thing, semaphore basically, isn't it?
Yes, well now, of course, they've got mobile phones, they don't need tic-tacs. But we used to send signals to each other and then have to change the app.
That's it, yeah.
And you would have a tic-tac one side of the track showing the boss what the prices are for the bookmakers on your side of the track.
And this would be in both dog racing and horse racing?
Yes, it would be, yes.
Yeah.
It is a form of semaphore.
Okay, yeah.
But we're told that we do it very fast, that people don't need it. But a lot of times it's people repeating the same thing 3 times.
Okay, so if we wanted to, if I, for example, came to your bookmaker who you're working for, and I had a bet with you for, say, £10 on a 5-2 price dog, how would you signal that to the other side of the track?
I'd call up the bookmaker and I'd ask him the price of track 3. And he would tell me it's 5-2, and I'll go 5-2 to £10.
Okay.
But that's what he would want. But if the man is my side, I would have to say to the man, to my governor, 3 dog, lose at 5-2, £25.
I see.
So that means to say I will have a bet with my bookmaker.
Right. And so what would be the highest price or the highest number that you could share? We go high and low and middle, then use some examples, because we're not here to teach you how to tic-tac.
You start off with evens, and then you can go to odds on, so that all numbers will go the other way round. So evens you start off with, and the biggest one is that one, obviously.
That would be a grand piano.
That's a grand piano. That's £1,000.
£1,000.
That's 500.
Which is a monkey.
A monkey.
It's not a very good big monkey, is it?
There's a ton or £100.
Right. Okay. And what dog tracks did you work at when you were a young man a couple of years ago?
Well, the first track I worked at was Clapton, near Hackney, and it's now closed down. I've worked at Southend, Dagenham, Romford, Catford, West Ham. West Ham's a custom house, and that's no longer. It was the biggest stadium in Europe.
Crikey.
You could not see from one side to the other, so they had to have a relay system for tic-tacs, because you couldn't see from one side to track to the other.
So you had one tic-tac talking to another tic-tac, and then he would take what you've signalled to him and signal it on from there.
So you'd be on the wall, and someone would be showing you, because there's no way that you could see a tic-tac who was in the crowd.
Very clever.
Because they used to do a 550-yard race in one circuit. Most of them tracks is 1.5 circuits. At West Ham, it's the biggest stadium in Europe.
Wow.
But it's since been closed down.
Could you give us an example where something goes wrong? I mean, mistakes must happen, surely, and they would be very costly, wouldn't they?
Well, you have to be careful what you're showing. There was a bookmaker that tried to get in touch with his Tic Tac, who was the other side of the track, and kept calling him, and finally he did answer, and the bookmaker said, "Keep your eyes on me." So at the end of that, and the Tic Tac apologised and kept his eyes on his governor. Later on, the Tic Tac came down and said, "You've got to give me £40 because you asked me to put £40 on a 5-2 chance." That's 5-2 to £40. Keep your eyes on me is 5-2 to £40.
So it's the same thing. So what he was trying to say was completely misunderstood.
Completely misunderstood. And that was only a small bit of
But I can imagine.
in those days, at that particular time happened, people used to have 1 shilling bets. They used to be called a chip. It was a shilling. They had different names for cash in those days. The chip was a shilling, Spartsy was a 6pence. And they just, Toshy was, a case was 5 shillings. People used to have small bets like that. Because money was, back in the 1940s, 1950s, there was, money was, if a man had a £5 bet, it was a big bet. Whereas now, 1,000 isn't a big bet.
Yeah, and I suppose if you weren't able to get the boss's attention by rolling your hands, could you just show us again, getting the attention?
You call it.
So you're calling, basically.
Calling, yeah.
That's ring, 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 ring in mobile phone language.
That is also a signal for odds on.
So how would you...
So if something is 4 to 1, that's 4 to 1 on.
Wow.
That's odds against.
I see.
So you have to be very careful what you're showing.
Yeah. What would be 10 to 1?
10 to 1 be that, 10.
Okay, and what would be 11 to 10? And going through the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I like that. That's very good.
There you go. 12, 14, 16, 20.
And how long were you doing this, Grandad Brian?
I started doing this when I was about 17, actually. I wasn't allowed on the track then, because you're talking about 50 years ago.
Crikey, 4 years ago.
50 years.
You've aged well.
55 years ago, I think I started doing it.
Crikey. Okay, well, before we go on to the piano in a moment, we'll release another episode for that. Obviously, could you just tell us a little bit more about the sort of fashion tips that you've given to all the celebrities, film actors and premier footballers in the world?
Well, there's one that I kept on changing is that. See, when you change that, you become a different person, don't you?
I think it's slightly Russian there.
And you don't need white gloves on when you're wearing a Russian hat, do you? Because they don't wear white gloves in Russia.
No, I'm sure they don't.
And, but do that, different person. You can either look an idiot, or you can...
Or you can look like...
Or you can be sensible. If I really want to be like different to everybody else, I'll wear a tiara,
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's very East End, isn't it? I suppose like the Pearly King.
I often walk around like this.
Yeah.
People look at me and think, "Is he all right?" And I say, "Well, that half, the other half is left."
Yeah, and I suppose if you're at the dog track and you're trying to send some Tic Tac messages across, if the boss doesn't listen to what you're saying in Tic Tac language, you can always phone them up on your banana.
On a banana, that's it. Yeah. Or you could
just wave.
You could wave to him.
Or you could just run around the track and tell him.
That's right, yeah.
So very good. Well, Grandad Brian, thank you very much. For those of you that have enjoyed this, thank you for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you like, because based on that, we'd like to release some further episodes. Thank you.